What's up, Brian Tong here, and the iPad news for Apple's May 7th event. It hasn't stopped, so let's get right into it. And on my last video, we broke down everything that you can expect to see with the new iPad Pros with OLED displays, an expected new Magic Keyboard, and a new Apple Pencil, and 2 new iPad Air sizes. Well, display analyst Ross Young, who said that the new larger 12.9-inch iPad Air would feature a new mini LED display, now says that is no longer going to happen due to the panel's high cost, even if other sources are reporting that mini LED is coming to the 12.9-inch iPad Air. So the latest is now that both the iPad Air models will feature the standard LCD display, which would also make it a clear difference compared to the iPad Pro line. And I even said last video that the 12.9-inch mini LED iPad Air would absolutely be the one to get if it happens, but the latest report says now it's not happening. But then Young added that it may not be dead. He reports that there may be still a new iPad model with a 12.9-inch mini LED display coming in the fourth quarter of 2024, and it could be either a high-end iPad Air that we kind of talked about, or a low-end iPad Pro, or something else entirely different. So it's still sort of a mystery, that iPad product that we could still see, but we reportedly will not see. That's a 12.9-inch iPad Air with a mini LED display at Apple's May 7th Let Loose event. Okay, you follow along? Well, there were also a whole lot of comments that I read, not only reacting to the new iPad launch, but a whole lot of you asking specifically about a new iPad mini. Now, the last time we saw an update was in September of 2021. That's a little ways back. So now, from what we know, right at this moment, we are not expecting a new iPad mini at this event, but reports have pointed to sometime later this year, potentially in the fall, alongside a new entry-level iPad 11th generation. Now, sure, we could be surprised at this event, but the biggest thing that I'm hearing from you is that you want a new iPad mini, and you want it now with an M2 at the very least. Well, the latest rumors say the screen assembly of this new mini will be rotated to reduce that jelly scrolling issue that some users complain about, but it really didn't affect me to the point where I thought it was a bad product. Also, hey, don't hold your breath that they're gonna give it a 120 Hertz ProMotion display or a new OLED display, but there has been a vocal group that is asking for a iPad mini Pro, and I do think that there's a place for it in the lineup, but Apple sees the numbers, and let's be honest, if the iPad mini was selling like hotcakes, I think we would have probably seen an update earlier than in 2024 when the last one came out in 2021. But you could also argue the update to basically give it USB-C and a slightly improved display wasn't enough in 2021. Now, the latest reports claim we'll also get an A17 Pro or A17 variant inside of it, which would give it roughly the equivalent performance to an iPhone 15 Pro with Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3 to get it up to speed with Apple's other products for connectivity. You could also expect new updated cameras and better low-light performance there, and yes, new colors as well. So that's what we know about the iPad mini so far, and since a lot of you asked, but we don't expect to see it at this May 7th event. All right, let's take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video, Lifen. This is the Lifen Wave, and it's an electric toothbrush with a sleek Apple-esque design with innovative tech inside. The body is a sleek single-piece design with no grips and a pressure-sensitive button to turn it on and off. Down on the bottom is a magnetic fast-charging connection with its own MagSafe-esque looking cable. And this Lifen Wave has both a 60-degree oscillation, which is the motion you see moving back and forth, while also vibrating at the same time. Now, the 60-degree oscillation is also the dentist's recommended bass brushing technique, and it helps to brush a wider area. Now, I've been using it for about 2 months now, and not only do my teeth feel really clean, they feel super smooth, and they stay clean for the entire day, longer than I felt before. And if you want to see the vibration frequency here, the Lifen Wave creates a literal ripple wave effect that's more dramatic than other electric toothbrushes. The combination of this oscillation and vibration together gives you 3 times the cleaning efficiency. This is a tech product, so you know that there's going to be an app that allows you to customize the experience. There are 3 settings: vibration strength, oscillation range, and oscillation speed that you can change between 1 to 10. It comes in 3 colors, and you'll get 3 brush heads. Just pick the one that's best suited for your teeth and gum sensitivity. Plus, you can get additional ones, a 3-pack for $9.99 and a 6-pack for $16.99. So if you want to find out more about the Lifen Wave, check out the link in the description. All right, let's get back to the latest news in the Apple world, and there's been a couple of reports showing how the iPhone has slowed down its momentum, and it's a sign that they need to bring something new to the table in 2024. And the latest report from Consumer Intelligence Research Partners says that new iPhone activations are down to a low the US smartphone market hasn't seen since 6 years ago. Now in the US, the actual user base is significant with roughly 60 to 65% of the market share here. But when it comes to new phone activations, that number fell from 40% to 33% of all new phone activations, showing a bit of a shift from the higher market shares that Apple has typically had in the US. Now the report goes on to compare how the last time new iPhone activations were this low was during a time when BlackBerry and Windows phones were more prevalent. So this is a bit of a wake-up call for Apple to do something more significant, even though I've seen what you all have said in the comments. Now the report says some of the decline is due to the increased price of modern smartphones and the fact that people just aren't upgrading our phones nearly as much as we used to. Unless you're someone that has to have the newest shiny toy from Apple every year. Now another report from analytics company Canalys released its latest report detailing the Chinese smartphone market for the first quarter of 2024. And in a battle for the top 5 brands duking it out in Asia's largest economy, Apple dropped from first place down to 5th place in the Chinese smartphone market when it comes to market share. Huawei returned to the top spot with a 17% market share. Oppo rose to 2nd, with Honor coming in 3rd, Vivo 4th, and Apple 5th. Now, we know the market dynamics are different in China, and when I visited 4 years ago, I rarely saw people with iPhones. It's just not as dominant as it is here in the US, but it's still a sign of things shifting. And if anything, I think Apple needs a more affordable flagship phone if they're looking to grow in other countries and emerging markets. And yeah, you all would like a more affordable phone too. So what can Apple actually do? Well, if you ask me, obviously number one, look, put out a new compelling feature or reinvention of the iPhone. I really like this direction for this rumored new camera button feature that allows us to zoom in, slide it, use it as basically our phone is our camera is our phone. And that will reportedly be coming to the iPhone lineup, but that's not enough. I think also, look, it's the hot buzz topic, but people want significant and usable AI features on their phone now. You look at the Pixel 8 Pro, that was to me the most innovative phone of 2023 because of how it helped push phones in a whole new direction. Its AI features, they're so good, they are super consumer friendly that other Android phones are now using their Google's Gemini platform on their phones. So WWDC 24 is going to be an absolutely important and critical year for the iPhone to show us what direction is Apple taking us and how they're going to make our phones better with AI, amongst other things. Because right now, you ask the general tech crowd and consumers, they agree that Siri is not good enough, and Apple's trailing by years when it comes to consumer AI capabilities. So how much can they close the gap, or can they even make any significant leaps? It's Apple, who's not normally known for being the most open company, and they just released a generative AI model to the public called OpenELM, and it has reportedly been pre-trained using the Red Pajama dataset, which includes a large library of books, Wikipedia, Stack Exchange posts, and more. And it was found to be more accurate, but slower compared to a competing generative AI model. But we know generative AI can be used for asking an AI to help us create everything from a dinner menu or vacation plans and so much more. So Apple is actively pursuing this and being very open about it at the same time. And, you know, with just a month and a half away from WWDC, all eyes, or all AIs, will be on Apple. So for those of you that sometimes write in the comments that the iPhone is so boring, there's no innovation, look, I get where you're kind of coming from, but I'd like to hear what your actual solutions are or ideas. Don't just bitch in the comments and walk away. Let's use our brain, and maybe we can have some interesting ideas or back and forth conversation. You know, I hang out in the comments around what you would do or what you would like to see. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for this video. If you like what you see, give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell ding to get all my latest videos when they drop. And if you want more of that Apple goodness, you can check out my weekly Apple Bits XL audio podcast with the latest stories and special guests. Plus, you can support all my content with an ad-free version of the podcast, early access to my content, and exclusive content at patreon.com/BrianTong. So thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace and love.